Hello everyone, my name is Satyam Chaturvedi and today I am going to discuss the third poem of your Beehive book. The name of the poem is Rain on the Roof. It is composed by Code Skinny. So this is the perfect time to discuss this particular poem because as you all can see, the rainy season has been described in this particular poem and it will be very easy for us to relate the things of the poem with our normal life. So as the monsoons have already arrived, so in this poem the rain is being talked about, and let's discuss the poem without wasting any time. So first stanza is, when the humid shadows hover over all the starry spheres, and the melancholy darkness gently weeps in rainy tears. What a bliss to press the pillow of a cottage chamber bed and lie listening to the patter of the soft rain overhead. Now let's see what are the difficult words used in this particular first stanza. So as you can see here, first word is hover. So hover means move around something. Okay. So to move around something. And then the next word is melancholy. Melancholy means sad. Bliss. Bliss means happiness. The antonyms of melancholy will be bliss. And patter. There is a word patter which is used continuously in this particular poem. Patter is sound of raindrops falling on the roof. So when rain happens, the sound which it produces is termed as patter in this particular poem. So let's start the explanatory part of the first stanza. So the poet is saying, when the humid shadows hover over all the starry spheres. So humid means which is something which is moisturized, and shadows means clouds. So here humid shadows means dark clouds. Okay, humid shadows means dark clouds. And starry spheres. Starry spheres none but the sky. Okay. So he is saying, when the humid shadows hover over all the starry spheres, that means when the dark clouds move around in the sky, and the melancholy darkness gently weeps in rainy tears. And the melancholy darkness means the sadness. The sadness the sky describes its sadness in the form of rainy tears, right? The sadness of the clouds are described in the form of rainy tears. So the rain which actually happens is termed as that the skies cries in the form of rainy tears. And when this happens, it is a very blissful sight. When the rain happens, when it rains, it is a very blissful sight. To press the pillow means by lying on our bed. Okay, and of a cottage chamber bed. So when this rain happens, it is a very blissful sight to see and enjoy by lying on the bed of our cottage chamber. Cottage chamber means our home or our bedroom. So when the rain happens, it's a very blissful sight by lying on the bed of our room and listening to the patter. Patter means again the sound of the raindrops. So the listening to the patter of the soft rain overhead is a very blissful sight when rain happens. So when it happens, when the dark clouds move around the sky, when the dark clouds move around the sky, and they express their darkness in the form of tears. Okay, so this was the explanation of first stanza. Now let's move to the second stanza of this poem. Every tinkle on the shingles has an echo in the heart. and 1,000 dreamy fancies into busy being start, and 1,000 recollections weave their air threads into woof as I listen to the patter of the rain upon the roof. So this is our second stanza. Now let's discuss the difficult words used in this particular paragraph. So if you see tinkle, what is tinkle? Tinkle is short light ringing sound. So short light ringing sound. Let me zoom it for you. So tinkle means short light ringing sound on the shingles. What is shingle? So shingle is the brick used the brick used while constructing a kacha house. So the kind of bricks which are used to make the roof, so these are shingles. Okay, these are shingles actually. So when the raindrop falls on the shingles, that is termed as tinkle. So this is also a sounding word of the rain. Sounding word. So every tinkle on the shingles as I mentioned is the kind of brick used to construct that roof. So when the raindrops fall on the shingle, it produces an echo. Echo means the repeating sound, something which keeps on repeating. So when the raindrops falls on the shingles, it produces an echo in our heart, and 1,000 dreamy fancies into busy being start. Busy being means human being, and here the human being is termed as the poet itself. Okay, busy being means human being, and here it means the poet itself. And in the first two lines, when the raindrop actually falls on the shingles, it produces an echo in the heart of the poet, and 1,000 dreamy fancies. Dreamy fancies means you can term it as dreams or any kind of imaginations, right? So the poet starts what does the poet start? Dreaming 1,000 dreamy fancies when the raindrops actually falls on the shingles of the roof. Okay, so when the raindrops falls on the shingles of the roof, the poet starts dreaming about 1,000 fancies, and he also reminds 1,000 recollections. What is recollections? The past memories. Recollections is past memories. Okay, so when it rains, when we look to the raindrops of the rain, we actually start relating it to our past memories. So in the same manner, as you can see in this picture, the boy is dreaming about his dreams, and he is also thinking about the past moments which he had lived in his or her life. And 1,000 recollections weave their air threads into woof. Weave, you all know the process of weaving, है ना? Weave their air threads. Air threads means जैसे हम हिंदी में बोलते हैं ख्वाब बुनना. So air thread means air thread से woof बनाना. So as you can see in this particular picture, a fiber is used. So thread, the crisscross part of the cloth is termed as weft, है ना? So when rain happens, the poet starts weaving their air threads into woof. When it actually happens, when he listens to the patter means the sound of the raindrops on the rain upon the roof. So in this particular stanza, the poet had described that the poet starts dreaming about his imaginations, as well as he can also relate with all the past memories when the raindrops falls on the shingles of his roof, and the patter of the raindrops made. Okay, So this was the explanation of second video. Now second stanza. Now moving ahead to the third stanza. Let's see what it is. Now in memory comes my mother, as she used in years agone, to regard the darling dreamers, ere she left them till the dawn. Oh, I feel her fond look on me as I list to this refrain, which is played upon the shingles by the patter of the rain. Now let's discuss the difficult word meanings of this particular stanza. So first word is agone. Agone means past. Past. Okay. Agone means past. Then there is a term used era. Era means old poetic word for before. So you can relate this era with the word before. It is a poetic term used in ancient times. Another word is list. So list is the short form of listen. So here it means as I listen to this refrain. Refrain means a repeated part of a song or a poem. Here the sound of the rain. Repeated part of a song. So the poet is actually comparing the sound of the rain to as a song. So the raindrops are falling constantly, so it is being repeated. So here refrain means the sound of the rain. Again, shingles, I have already told you the kind of bricks. If you see in this particular picture, shingles are perfectly being described. So this is shingle. Okay, this particular bricks are shingles. So when the raindrops falls on it, it produces the sound which is termed as tinkle. Tinkle is also a sounding word, just as patter. Okay, now let's start the explanation of our third stanza. Now in memory comes my mother, as she used in years agone to regard the darling dreamers' era. She left them till the dawn. Oh, I feel her fond look on me. So in this particular stanza, the poet is saying that when the thousand past recollections get reminded in his mind, so in this particular line, he is introducing his mother also, and his mother is no more in this world. So he is actually missing her mother and reminding the uh, love and affection of her mother when she used to be alive. Okay, so now in memory comes his mother, as she used in years ago to regard the darling dreamers means the ones who are seeing the dream. So here darling means the son of the mother, that is poet. So her mother used to love his son when he used to dream. And when he used to dream, when actually the rain happens. Now in the next line, she left them till the dawn. Oh, I feel her fond look on me. And in this particular line, the poet is saying that when the raindrops comes from the sky, he can feel the same love and affection and caring of his mother when the rain actually happens, right? So you can see, I feel her fond look on me. So the poet can relate the caring of her mother is today also. Why? Because the raindrops are coming from the sky. And when all these things the poet can relate, when all these things poet can relate, or what all these things means, the past, the coming of mother in his dream, to relate the love and affection which her mother used to do when she was alive. When the poet can relates all these things, as he listened to this refrain, which is played upon the shingles by the patter of the rain. So when actually all this thing happen, when he listens to the continuous sound of rain, and which is played upon the shingles, which is actually played upon these bricks. By what? By the patter of the rain, by the sound of the rain. So he can remind the love and affection of her mother, as well as he can relate with the past memories. And this was the explanation of the third stanza which I made. Now I will be discussing the poetic devices used in these poem. Okay, let's discuss the rhyming of the first stanza. So let's rhyme the lines. First word is hover, spheres, darkness, tears. Spheres and tears are rhyming. Pillow, bed, patter, overhead. Bed and overhead are rhyming. So we can say A, B, C, A, B, C, B, and then A, B, C, B, D, E, F, E. So only two words are rhyming with each other. Hover, that is spheres and tears, that is why we mentioned it as B, and then bed and head, overhead, that is why we mentioned as E. So this was the rhyme used in the first stanza. Now let's discuss the figure of speech or poetic rhymes, poetic devices used in this poem. So first poetic device which is used very prominently in this particular poem is alliteration. What is alliteration? The repeating of consonant sound in the same line or stanza in close connection is termed as alliteration. So let's see. In the first line, humid, hover, ha sound has repeated. In the second line, starry spheres, S sound, sa sound has repeated, right? In the same manner, if you see two other lines also, cottage, chambered, C, sa sound has repeated. Lie, listening, L sound, la sound is repeated. So alliteration is used very prominently in this particular stanza. Now the second poetic device used in this particular stanza is onomatopoeia. Poeia, P-O-E-I-A, onomatopoeia. What is onomatopoeia? The sounding words are termed as onomatopoeia. So in this particular poem, there were two sounding words, which was patter, right? So patter was the sound of the raindrops. So in this particular line, onomatopoeia is used. Another figure of speech used in this poem is personification. Manviyakaran. So if you see in this particular line, gently weeps in rainy tears. So the darkness has been personified with the tears. Okay, so here the darkness is personified because tears, crying is a human phenomenon, right? Who actually cries? Humans cries. But the darkness has been here personified in terms of tears. So here personification is used. Okay. Now let's come to the second stanza and see the rhyming and figure of speech used. So let's first of all discuss the rhyming of the second stanza. The rhyming is same which was before. A, B, C, B, A, B, C, B, D, E, F, E. So why? Let's see. Shingles, heart, fancies, start. So heart and starts are rhyming. So B sound has been repeated twice. Okay. So A, B, C, B. Now recollections, woof, patter, roof. Woof and roof is rhyming. So E has been written twice, and these the fifth line and seventh line is D and F. The same rhyming is also used in the second stanza, and the same figure of speech is also used. Like first one was alliteration. So you all are supposed to find the repeating consonant sound in this particular stanza. Let's see what are the repeating consonant sound used in these lines. Uh, Busy being, if you see here, ba sound has repeated, है ना? And then their threads, tha sound has repeated. And again onomatopoeia used in the on the tinkle word. There were two sounding words, na? One was tinkle and another one was patter. In both these sounding word, which figure of speech is used? Onomatopoeia. Okay, and personification is also used. Now let's come to the third stanza of this poem and see the figure of speech and rhyming used. Rhyming, as I mentioned before, will be same: A, B, C, B, D, E, F, E. A, B, C, B, D, E, F, E. Let's see. Mother, agon, dreamers, dawn. So agon and dawn are rhyming, so B and B is repeated. In the same manner, me, refrain, shingles, rain. Refrain and rain is rhyming, so E and E is repeated. Okay. Let's see the figure of speeches used in this particular stanza. So if you see the ma sound, memory, my, mother. Ma sound has repeated constantly, alliteration is here. Okay. Darling dreamers, da sound has repeated, alliteration is here. Okay. Then them till, the ta sound has repeated constantly. So, and again the patter word refers to the sounding word, so it's onomatopoeia. So with this I came to the conclusion of this video. I come to the conclusion of this video. I am signing off from this video, and I hope you had understand all the explanatory part which had been explained in this particular video. Even if you feel any problem or anything is not clear to you, feel free to ask on my WhatsApp number. Till then, take care. Bye bye.